Beast coming!
Welcome to Beast Metal Reviews. I'm Adversaricon, also known as Human the Hoofed Beast, and today I'm going to review the album by Gored Embrace. And the title of the album is In the Presence of a Malevolent Soul. This band is out of Chicago, Illinois, and they are a death metal slam band. I think they're a very up-and-coming band. They were only formed during 2020. They've put out an EP that's really raw and really fucking good, and just like I think a 3-song EP. And now just last week on the 17th of January of 2025, they have released their first full-length album, and it's a damn good one. So I'm going to take you through it song by song. First, before I go into this, I'm going to tell you about what I think are their strengths. Vocals, absolute strength. The guy can do the highs, and he only does them sporadically here and there, maybe in 2 or 3 songs, definitely in the title track of the album. The bass is super prevalent, super heavy, pretty much more simple for the latest album versus the EP that they released a couple of years ago in 2022. But I love the presence of the bass. And if you guys are familiar with the groove and the slow chugging of slam, like such as bands like Dying Fetus, then you understand how important this is. It's a lot about feel during a show, feeling that bass, feeling that groove. The bass really holds down everything. The drummer is another thing that's pretty damn amazing. On this album, I think the drums have been mixed perfectly, except for maybe the snares a little bit too prominent, but I love the sound of the kicks. The kicks have enough bass in them and enough tap to where they really stand out. The drummer's doing a lot of really cool things to where he'll be doing like double kicks when they've got some sort of a slow riff going on, and so it's like a different texture, a contrasting texture, if you will. And I really like this about them. So let's get into the first song, which is an instrumental. It's called Dreaming. It's pretty short. I've got to say I'm not one for long intros, especially if the intros really don't feel like they relate to the rest of the album. I don't think this does. This is one that I will fast forward through. So sorry guys, I don't really care for your intro. I would leave that off next time. Now, having said that, they do a lot of kind of spoken word, like somebody yelling and saying something that is kind of curious because it only lasts like 5 or 7 seconds for like 3 or 4 of the next songs that come through. And I kind of like the intros like that. Like that's pretty cool. It kind of sets the stage of some sort of rage or that something's fucked up is about to happen. So really like that. So the first song on the album is called Residual Self-Image. And I found this to be pretty straightforward death metal for the most part. And it's got some slam. It has melodic soloing and overlaying in this. Kind of like in the vein of the Faceless, kind of a lot of the guitar playing reminds me of the Faceless a little bit. Very melodic. I will say that I'm not sure that the soloing in almost all of the songs except for one is dark enough or weird enough to kind of go with this. It's a little bit too pretty maybe sometimes, that if that's a criticism. The dude can play better guitar than me by years ahead of me, but sometimes I don't know that melodic guitar soloing really fits with the evil and the darkness that's coming from those fucking vocals, from the bass, from the heaviness of the grooves when they get into slam, or they're just death metal blast beats that they throw in there. But the dude's an amazing guitarist. I would just consider like making the solo sound a little bit more evil, a little bit more dark, maybe a little dissonant and weird, like kind of off flavor kind of stuff. Outside of that, like this album's really, really fucking good. So I gave the first song, Residual Self-Image, I gave a 2 out of 5 stars. I don't really believe that that's the first song that I would have put on there, because I believe the rest of the songs are better. This is the lowest rating out of all the songs that I gave. I was just kind of, it's more like straightforward death metal to me, and it wasn't as intriguing as some of the others are. The third song, well, really the second song, is called Organic Severance. Really good song. I love the slow, simple bass presence that you notice in this one, like right off the bat. It has excellent, deep, low vocals, like right off the bat, really good. And they've got a little bit of times where they will isolate just the bass, and they do this several times during the album, and I really like it. The bass is super tasty, super low, super slow at times, a little distorted, but it really has a good presence, and I like when they do that. I gave Organic Severance a 4 out of 5 stars. Thought it was a really good song. Cold is the River. This is another 4 out of 5 star song for me. It has a really fun and catchy slam groove in it. Like, I'm gonna see these guys in about a month. I think it's about 31 days when they come to Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm really looking forward to feeling the bass, feeling the groove when they get into that slam stuff. It has a really melodic solo in it. This song has a lot of variety, and that's one thing I'm looking for. What do I mean by variety? I mean, mainly it's changing the tempo, changing the texture, putting in that bass that's isolated by itself. It's something different to listen to. Putting in the high vocals with the low vocals together or separating them. That's an element of variety that I like. It gives you something to chew on. Changing up the pacing of the slam. Sometimes they'll do slow slam, and then sometimes they do really slow slam. And I love the kind of changes in that. It gives you something else to like catch on to and say, hey, I want to give that another listen. Because slam could be kind of boring because it is kind of slow. A lot of people will accuse doom metal of being really slow, and maybe it is to some people, but really not to me. The fifth song, which is really the fourth song, is Contemptuous Bloodlust. I gave this song a 4 out of 5 stars as well. It has blast beats in there. It's a little bit faster pace. I love the slam portions of this song, and especially like the last minute of each song, they really kind of end the song with a slam. And by the way, this is them in the background live. If you guys want to come see them, they're going on tour very soon, and they're going to be doing an East Coast tour. Again, Contemptuous Bloodlust also has a lot of variety in it, a lot of tempo changes, a lot of just different things going, different things with the vocals, different things with the bass that I really liked. The fifth song is Lamentations of a Fractured Future. I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars as well. The blast beats are contrasting slow power chugs. I love that. So sometimes they got the pop, 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 pop going on, and then you've got a slow kind of groove going, jung, 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 jung. And I love that contrast. Something really fast contrasting against something that's kind of slow or kind of medium pace. I love that. This song is really driving and really powerful. Well, we're more than halfway done with the review of In the Presence of a Malevolent Soul by Gored Embrace. The seventh song, which is really the sixth song, is Cataclysmic Upheaval. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. It's really, really pummeling. It's really, really driving, a little bit more kind of forward moving, if you will, and I really like that. They have a really nice, really beautiful, difficult to do harmonizing solo in this song. I really don't find it being evil or dark enough to kind of fit with this song. It's a little bit too pretty, a little bit too melodic, in my opinion. The 8th song on this album, which is really the 7th song, is Neurological Deception. This is a song that they did on the EP previously, about 2 years before, 2.5 years before maybe. And I kind of like the bass lines a little better. They're more complicated. It's a more raw, bright, and biting kind of production. And I kind of liked it a little bit better. It feels heavier, it feels more gritty, feels more nasty, if you will. But this song it's very powerful, and it has kind of a marching kind of groove moving forward in the beginning and throughout the song. And this one has more of the high vocals in it as well. But I gave Neurological Deception a 3 out of 5 stars. Still a good song, very good album overall. But this one, I just didn't feel like it was as good as the one they had done 2.5 years ago. The 9th song is called Dancing Shadows, and this is an instrumental. It's done with a nylon string guitar. They bring in a distorted solo toward the end of it, and I thought that this was really moody, and I felt like this was dark, and I felt like it fitted the rest of the kind of sound, especially the vocals. Like, these vocals are fucking dark. This dude is really, really good at vocals. He has many different versions of what he can do with his vocals. He's pretty dynamic. I gave Dancing Shadows, the instrumental, a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really good. It held my interest the whole time. And I really liked it. It has a lot of variety. The guy's doing all kinds of things, and it's really good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Master of Reality by Black Sabbath, their 3rd album, and when Tony Iommi comes in with Orchid, I think is the song, and it's the solo. It's like, it's really pretty. It's a contrast, but it still is beautiful but evil and kind of dark. And I kind of felt like Dancing Shadows was that way as well. And the last song on the album is the title track, In the Presence of a Malevolent Soul. This is my favorite song off of the album. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It is mid to fast for the first 2 minutes, and then they slow down with and there's a lot of tempo changes in this one. I think this is the heaviest and the fastest track on the song. The blast beats and the high and low vocals, to me, are the highlights that I really liked with it. That helped it stand out, along with the variety and the tempo changes. There is a really clever slam riff toward the end because it has an unusual rhythm. And the more unusual and kind of like stuttering and kind of don't make it quite so simply and easy to kind of figure out what's coming next. They kind of captured this, and this is what I would recommend how they move forward on their next albums. Not that I'm more successful than them or anything like that, but just as, you know, I'm an artist, I have a 4-year degree in art, I have the mind of an artist. I'm always thinking about how can I be innovative and do something different from everybody else. And for me, my advice to this band, which I think is great, the album I give a 4 out of 5 stars. As a whole, and this is their debut album. I think they're going to get better as they go. I would just consider, once again, make the guitar solos a little bit darker so it goes with the music a little bit better. The soloist is an excellent guitarist. I would just try to make it a little bit darker. And I would kind of keep up with the production that they had for the EP. I felt like it was more raw and it was more heavy and a little bit more bright. And the bass lines were a little bit more adventuresome than when they did like the same song off of the EP on the full album. I kind of liked the EP's version a little bit better. But anyways, overall, I really like this band. I like them enough that I'm gonna go check them out during their East Coast tour early in 2025. So once again, the band is Gored Embrace. And the album is called In the Presence of a Malevolent Soul. Check these guys out. Go check out their shows. You can catch them on Spotify, catch them live if you're on the East Coast. Thanks. This is Beast Metal Review out.